We developed Grandpa's final camera roll. The last photo was taken after they closed the casket. The timestamp on the picture is 3:13 a.m., 3 hours after the funeral home locked the doors. I was still wearing the same black dress from the cemetery when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered with cemetery dirt under my nails. Elliot's Photo Lab. We've got your grandfather's Kodak developed. You need to get down here. Now. Click. No goodbye. Just a vacuum of a call that ends before your heart can beat again. Grandpa Joe had been dead 48 hours. Heart attack in the recliner, half-eaten butt pecan melting on the TV tray. We buried him that morning. But the camera, his treasured 1987 Kodak Gold 200, was tucked under the recliner when we found the body. I dropped it at the 1-hour lab, more out of grief habit than hope. One last roll. One last look through Grandpa's eyes. I didn't expect to see through the eyes of a corpse. Elliot's lab sat behind a 24-hour laundromat that never locked its doors. The red neon open sign buzzed like an angry insect. Inside, chemical stink clawed my throat. The tech, barely 20, acne like constellations, shoved an envelope across the counter. No charge, he said. His hand shook so badly the envelope flap kept missing the adhesive. We always look at the negs to check exposure, he whispered. Number 24, it shouldn't exist. He slid a loop my way. I held the strip to the bulb. Frame number 24 was black at first glance, until my pupils adjusted. A face emerged from the make. Pale, eyes open, mouth stitched into a grin too wide for Grandpa's gentle features. Below the face, a metal table. Drain grooves. A tag tied with string. I almost dropped the strip. The toe tag bore Grandpa's name. Time stamped. 3:13 a.m., the 13th of October, 24. 3 hours after the casket was sealed. I asked for prints. The tech refused money, refused to print number 24, refused even to let the negative leave the building. I pocketed it anyway. Outside, October wind felt warm compared to the chill climbing my spine. I drove to the funeral home Moonlight Meadows where we'd held the wake. Its gates were chained, locked empty except for a hearse with curtains drawn. I buzzed the night bell. No answer. I scaled the fence like I was 12 again, following Grandpa on squirrel hunting trespasses. My heels crunched acorn shells, tiny skulls underfoot. Inside, hallways smelled of carnations and formaldehyde. I found the embalming room by following the drip-drip of a faucet that hadn't been tight in decades. The table was exactly as a photo, drain grooves, chrome shine, ID tag curled like a sleeping worm. But no body. A clipboard hung nearby. Final entry, Joseph H. Klein, released a family vault 12:45 a.m. Released, after midnight, after we'd all gone home to grieve. Our family vault is in Willow Crest, 30 miles north. I arrived at 4:27 a.m. Fog clung to headstones like cotton wool. The iron door stood ajar. Fresh scrape marks on the marble threshold screamed recent opening. Inside, 3 coffins. Grandma's from 09, Uncle Ray's from 12, and the new one, coppery shine, nameplate still warm to touch. I lifted the lid. Empty. Silk lining bore indentations. Heels, hips, shoulders, but no Grandpa. Just the same wide grin pressed into the pillow, as if a face had been there moments earlier. Click. I spun. My own camera. Phone. Had taken a photo without command. Screen showed the vault interior, but a pale hand now rested on my shoulder, translucent, veins glowing like fiber optics. No hand on me in real life. The photo time-stamped, 4:31 a.m. Home at dawn, I locked every door, stuffed towels under cracks, brewed coffee thick as mud. I spread the rest of Grandpa's prints across the kitchen table. Frames #1-11, normal. Grandpa's garden, the neighbor's dog, sunset over silos. Frame number 12, the first anomaly. Same cemetery I just left, but shot at night. Headstones luminescent, sky black without stars. In the corner, a figure waving, motion blurred. I zoomed. The blur wore my jacket, my haircut, my face, twisted in mid-scream. I hadn't visited Willow Crest at night, yet. Frames #13-18, progressively closer views of the Moonlight Meadows funeral home. Night shots, timestamp advancing by exactly 1 hour, 1:13, 02:13. Frame number 19. Inside the embalming room. Grandpa on the table, eyes sewn shut, cheeks rouged. Yet his right hand lifted, middle finger extended. Our lifelong joke when I'd photobomb his portraits. Frame number 23. The metal toe tag close-up. String freshly cut. Blood droplet suspended midair, illuminated by flash. Frame number 24. The impossible portrait. Grandpa sat upright on the edge of the table, mouth grinning far past human capacity, lips split at the corners, teeth wet and too many, like a shark forced into Granddad's skin. His eyes were not eyes but twin developed negatives, white pupils, black sclera, reversing everything they saw. Below the image, scratched into the emulsion, words bled through. I searched Grandpa's house. In the junk drawer, beneath rubber bands and expired coupons, I found an unopened 3-pack of Kodak gold, one canister missing. I checked his bedroom closet. A faint chemical smell lingered. Inside an old showbox, developer chemicals, thermometer, reels, home darkroom gear he'd sworn he sold decades ago, and a second metal canister already exposed. My hands moved before my brain. I drove to Elliot's, slammed the canister on the counter. The Acne tech recoiled. Develop it. I growled. I'll pay double. I need to see what he shot after death. He refused. I begged. He pointed to the security camera, to the sign that read, "We reserve the right to refuse service." So I broke in that night. Tools, red safety bulb, Grandpa's chemicals, YouTube University. I'd spent teenage summers in his darkroom, muscle memory awakened like a loyal dog. I loaded the mystery roll. Developer, stop, fix, rinse. My watch ticked past 3 a.m. The hour photographs developed themselves. The negatives emerged milky, then sharpened. Frame after frame of me, sleeping in my childhood bed, driving the interstate, standing at the funeral home fence, crying over the empty casket. Each image shot from behind, as if Grandpa followed a polite distance, except he was already dead. The final frame, future tense. Me, older, hair gray, lying in the same copper coffin, eyes sewn, cheeks rouged, grinning that impossible grin. Scratch below, your town. I staggered back, knocked over fixer. Chemicals pooled, formed a mirror. My reflection wavered, but the grin on my face remained steady, even though my real mouth screamed. Click. The security camera in the corner, Elliot's camera, snapped. Flashbulb pop. I hadn't touched it. A Polaroid ejected from beneath the counter, though Elliot used only digital. I snatched it. Image. Me, holding this very Polaroid, in this very lab, but behind me stood Grandpa, hand on my shoulder, eyes negative white, guiding the camera angle. The photo timestamp tomorrow. I drove to Willowcrest at sunrise, Polaroid and negatives in passenger seat like a hitchhiker I couldn't shake. I dug a hole at the foot of Grandpa's empty grave. I piled in every photo, every strip, the Polaroid, the Kodak camera itself. I doused them in gasoline, said the Lord's Prayer though I no longer believed in either part. Flames erupted green, then black. The smoke formed the shape of that grin, dissipating only when the wind shifted. I buried the ashes, planted a sapling over them. Life from death, or so I hoped. That night I slept without dreaming. Morning brought a package on my porch, plain manila, no return. Inside, a single 4x6 glossy. Image, the sapling, charred earth, but leaning against it, casual, hands in pockets. Stood me, smiling normal, eyes alive. Timestamped, 3:13 a.m. Today. Flip side, Grandpa's handwriting. Death is just a darkroom. Keep shooting. I looked up. The street line.